Hey everyone, my name is Doug Hayes and I hope that you're well and having a great start to the year. The music you hear in the background is mine, so I do own the rights to it. Please check it out on iTunes or Amazon Music by searching D Steven, D.Steven, that's D.Steven, and download it today. It's good stuff, I promise you. While I appreciate your support of my music, the real reason I'm here today is to talk about Market Mondays, which is a blog intending to educate you on wealth building principles and give you stock market updates brought to you by my company, Legacy Investing and Wealth Management. Student debt has been a hot topic lately, and with possible write-downs coming, I want to talk about the importance of preparing your kids for college with little to no student loan debt. One of our friends told us a while back about how she was able to send her daughter to school with no student loans. She was able to get renewable scholarships and grants from many different sources to help fund her daughter's education. We were so proud of her for making sure her daughter's education was taken care of without having to rely on student loans. She started the process early, which is absolutely necessary to finding out all that's out there as well as meeting the various application deadlines. My wife and I were both blessed in that we received great financial aid packages, scholarships, and grants with the help of our amazing parents, but we still had to take on some student loan debt. After I finished college, I had to file a forbearance because at the time I was making entry-level money. I was making $26,500 annually, which wasn't enough to pay for food and other necessary expenses, and I also had bought a house. So for a while I was very discouraged that I had this loan debt and had no real way of getting out of it. Both of us eventually landed some great employment opportunities and we were able to send in extra principal payments. From that point, we paid the loans off fairly quickly and a lot earlier than we anticipated. Our story with student loan debt had a happy ending, but many people have shared stories about having hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt, and I hope that you never have to go through that. Although the interest rates on student loans are usually not too bad, it is one of the worst types of debt to have because it can never be fully charged off or deleted from your credit report. I say not fully because up until recently there was no way of erasing this type of debt as you could with things like mortgages, cars, credit cards, things of that nature. The Biden administration proposed erasing up to $10,000 with certain stipulations that are being looked at now with the new upcoming stimulus package. This potential debt cancellation would be the exception, and I wouldn't expect this to become a regular occurrence. These loans are usually stuck with you for life or until you pay them off, so why would you ever want to take a chance on a debt that probably won't be erased? Now, there are ways around having to take on this type of debt, and that comes in the way of scholarships and grants. The good thing about them is that, for one, they don't have to be paid back. And there are so many organizations and companies out there that give money away for college students. People with money love to help other college students fund their education. You just have to research and find out where the money is and which ones you're eligible to apply for, as many of them have restrictions. For starters, there is a government form online called FAFSA. It's F-A-F-S like Sam A, and you can go to fafsa.ed.gov to fill out the form as early as possible. Your form will be processed and you'll get a student aid report back. It's called a SAR. You will then want to call your school that your child is interested in attending and find out the next steps. Usually they will send you a copy of that SAR letter and then generate an award for you. After that, start doing your search and applying for as many outside scholarships and grants as possible. Some of them will have required that you first completed that FAFSA to be eligible for their own awards, so make sure you start there first. Start a savings account. Set up an automatic transfer so that the account keeps growing. I have a stock trading account, a margin account set up for my kids that continues to grow year after year. I mean, there are so many other ideas out there, but another one that you can do right now is to start a college cash app and promote it on social media. Like I said, people love helping kids go to college, so something as simple as that could go a long way. Doing all of this will help, but it may not totally eliminate the need for student loans, but I hope this information helps to at least keep them at a minimum. In market news, a lot has happened since my last Market Mondays, but to sum it up, the stock market has gone up almost in a straight line since last March. There is a lot of optimism that our economies will start reopening as we start getting COVID-19 under control and people get vaccinated. The stock market always looks ahead, which is why when the pandemic was at its worst last month and also December, the stock market was making all-time highs. The S&P 500, which is an index comprised of 500 US companies and is also the benchmark that registered investment advisors like myself follow and measure our own performance against, closed the week on Friday at 3906. That is right near the all-time high and is expected to go much higher most of this year. Now, we will have some sell-offs here and there, but just as long as the economy continues growing and nothing too unexpected happens, it should be a decent year as far as returns. The average annual return is around 10%, and most analysts are predicting somewhere around that for this year. Bitcoin is up huge. It's trading over $55,000 per coin for the first time ever, and it's expected to hit $100,000 at some point this year. To put the move it's had into perspective, it was trading under $4,000 last March. That is a totally ridiculous move. I'm sure you've also heard about GameStop and a few other companies that had crazy moves over a few weeks ago. That was brought on by a community of mostly retail investors who decided they were going to target stocks that had what's called a high short interest. In other words, they looked up companies that many professional traders were betting would go down in value instead of going up. The professional traders were betting this way because these companies are not doing well, and they know that from the poor quarterly earnings reports that come out every 3 months. When this community started buying, supply and demand made the stock price go higher, which caused the other people who were betting the other way to do what's called covering their short positions, which caused the price to go even higher. So that's why GameStop went from under $20 a share to over $500 a share in a matter of days. It since has come all the way back down to around $40 as this retail investor community has closed these trades out and moved on to other companies. This is not the type of trading I would ever recommend that you get into doing, so please stay away from that. Those are the main highlights over the last couple of months. Please visit me at legacyinvestingwealth.com. Check out my services and look at some of my past blogs. If you want to learn more, submit a contact form there for a free consultation on becoming financially fit and learning how to make money in the stock market. You can make money in any type of market, whether it's up or down. So let's build generational wealth together. Thank you for tuning in today and have an amazing week.